Ethan with All Repair Mechanics coming at you today with a diesel heater install. This is a 40-foot RV and we've got the diesel heater in place of the propane heater. Let's go take a look. So we've got the pantry here, and this is still mid-process. We've just gone through about 5 hours, 6 hours of testing to verify that this diesel heater can actually heat this place. Now the issue that we're having with the diesel heater currently is going to be the fan. It's not enough output. So this thing creates a lot of heat, plenty of heat to get this thing cooking, but not enough output. Solution number one is to put another fan back here with a filter setup. Now of course this will be built over. You'll be able to utilize all this space in here, and the filter vents will come out through the bottom of the door. As you can see, the door has some space for an air intake, so put a filter in there and we'll make sure that our heated air is actually filtered, that way we don't plug up all of our heat fins. Second option, other than putting the fan in the back here, is obviously at your closest point you'll have a lot of heat there and there. That's where we're getting all of our heat currently, but we want to pull more heat back this way. Right, we want to feed the bathroom, we want to feed the room. So unable to do that, what we're going to do is I'm going to cut this 2 inches wider. I'm going to put in helper fans. This will pull the heat this way more. We'll get more heat up here and less heat back there with the pole. So if you don't install the fan into the back of the unit, which you could do like a 2.5 or 3 inch ducting fan into the back of the unit, you can go ahead and put the helper in the front of the unit. Now this is in place of the original propane unit. The original propane unit was just right here, and it went up to about there. All that's unusable, along with this big vent area here that feeds into the next room. If you're familiar with RVs and propane units, you know that these things are costly. They got a lot of weird problems, and they're hooked directly up to your thermostat. So in this case, we have a different AC unit that's operated through a remote control. So it's completely independent, no more thermostat. And now we've removed the rest of the thermostat unit, and we're going to the diesel heater, which will now have this thermostat. Once this is all boxed in and insulated with the air vents on the bottom, the heat won't radiate up. We can mount that either here or bring it all the way back and mount it with our remote control here. Obviously that's a little bit harder, but not a big deal. We can do it either way, whatever works. Or we can mount this unit inside here or right outside here. Either way works, because once that thing gets hot, I mean, it's pumping heat, and you can just turn it off, turn it on, whatever you need. It takes about 5 minutes to start. So the setup here is the original duct was right here. The old propane heater came over here, had the fan going down, did its thing. None of this was usable. The new setup, the shelf will come about probably 6 to 8 inches above this, all insulated, with the vent on the bottom here that will be filtered. So you have now all this usable space along with all that usable space. To give you a good look at what's going on here. This is the wiring from the original thermostat. Simply just run negative and positive 12 volt straight to the wiring harness. That's how we're getting 13 volt over here. So we don't have to do any aftermarket wiring to get 12 volt anywhere from there, here, no power inverters, nothing. This is pre-supplied 12 volt from the RV itself. It is on a fuse that is in the fuse panel over there. Utilization of the plug still. There's no plug on the bottom, so no big deal. And again, once I get this in position, it won't block that at all. Fuel line simply just going from the bottom of the tank. This is all temporary. I'll get a 90 here so we don't have a kink, or maybe I'll bring the tank up higher. We'll see what happens. Fuel line simply just goes through the floor out the bottom. This is a port where I think a pre-made hole was, but I'm going to go ahead and seal that up. Travels over here to the filter, to the pump, which the pump cannot be heard inside anywhere. I've got it mounted to the frame, which seems to do the trick, and then also these soft rubber lines, which are meant for injection, fuel injection. Fuel line goes from the bottom to the intake. That's the intake side there, completely separated with the fire foam, which I'll clean all that up. And the intake comes over here zip tied up. This is the old heater propane line, just removed. The other propane line travels back there and is protected with a heat guard. It doesn't get very hot on this muffler. I've just shut the thing off like 10, 15, 20 minutes, no, probably 15 minutes ago, and it's not even hot right now. So I don't think this is needed, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I will continue to monitor just to make sure this line doesn't take any heat, but I think it'll be fine. Moving forward, this is the exhaust pipe. Literally goes through this bottom with protection shielding all the way up to the very top there. Let's see if I get the light on. Try to keep it from touching any of the sidewalls of this piping. And this will keep everything protected up there. And that just goes straight through the vent, right up into the bottom of the heater. Very simple application.